hail. It falls from the sky. So let's calculate the terminal velocity for a little ball of hail and then double the size of it and see what happens. So if I have a ball of hail, I'll give its radius of 0.5 millimeters. I just picked something, might be too big, I don't know. And it has density of water. Let's say it's the density of water, 1,000 kilograms per cubic meter, drag coefficient of 0.47, and then the other one's twice the size. I want to find both of those terminal velocities and we can see what happens. So if I drop a ball in the air, it's going to fall and increase in speed, and there will be two forces acting on it. There's the downwards gravitational force, mg, and then there's a drag force pushing up, okay? And that drag force depends on the velocity. So at a certain point, it will keep on increasing in speed until those two things are equal, and then it will reach a constant velocity. We call that terminal velocity. So let's look at that point. So we can say F net in the y direction is going to be the drag force, which is in the opposite direction of the motion, it's moving down, minus the weight, mg, and that's equal to 0. Now we can use the following model for drag force. We can say there's more than one model for drag force. Sometimes this one works. Let's just assume it does. Let's say that the drag force, the magnitude is 1/2 rho a c v squared. So that's the density of air, which I didn't put over here. That's the density of water or ice. The density of air, A, is 1.2 kilograms per cubic meter. A is the cross-sectional area of the sphere. So if you're looking at the sphere, the area of it is a circle. And then C is a drag coefficient that depends on the shape. A sphere has a drag coefficient of 0.47. You just got to look that up. And then V is the velocity, so V squared. So up here, I can put all this in. I get 1/2 rho, I'm going to put rho air, A, C, V squared, minus mg equals 0. And I want to solve for V. So I get 1/2 rho A, C, V squared equals mg. Now we have a problem. We got to find the mass of the hail. So the mass of the hail depends on the density of the hail. So mass is going to be the density times the volume. But the volume, it's a sphere. And the volume of the sphere is, this is ice, rho I times 4/3 pi r1 cubed. That's the volume of a sphere. So I can put that in over here. Now, but the area also depends on the radius. So the area is going to be equal to pi times r1 squared. And I'm using r1 because we're going to do r2 later. So if I put all of that in, I get 1/2. Let's just solve for v squared. So I get v squared is mg2 over rho A, C. Yep. I got that right. Now I'm going to put in my expression for the mass, and I'm going to put in my expression for the area, and you'll see something magic happens. 2 times the mass, which is this, rho ice, 4/3 pi r1 cubed times g. All of that over density of air times the area, pi r1 squared times c. Notice that some of my r's cancel, but they don't completely cancel. So if you double the size, you don't double, it doesn't cancel, right? They don't completely cancel. And this is what we have in the physics of scale. When you have two factors where one depends on the volume and one depends on the area, then bigger things are not the same as smaller things. So, but that cancels with those, but not all of them. So now I can solve for V. V is going to be the square root of 2 rho I, 4/3, which I'm going to put this as 8/3. So I have 8/3 rho ice, the pi cancels, R1 G over rho A times C. So I can calculate that. That's not too hard. I'm not even going to use Python. So let's put this in as 8,000 times 0.5 times 10 to the negative 3, right? That's 0.5 millimeters. G is 9.8. I have to convert it to meters because my density is in kilograms per cubic meter. All that over 3 times the density of air, 1.2 times 0.47. And let's calculate that in the calculator. Oh, there's a square root there. Okay, calculate, drop. 8, enter. 1,000 times, which I could have just done 8,000. I can do that part in my head. 0.5, I could probably do this in my head too. Times 10 to the negative 3 times 9.8 times 3 divided by 1.2 divided by 0.47 divided by square root. And I get 4.8. Now, what happens if I double the radius? If I double the radius, the mass increases by a factor of 8, but the surface area, the cross-sectional area, increases by a factor of 4. So we could redo all this, right? But the only thing that's going to happen in here is I'm going to take this and multiply it by 2. So that's going to mean that this is going to be V1. V2 is going to be equal to the square root of 2 times V1. I don't have to redo the whole thing. So I'm going to take 2 square root times, and I get 6.8. And this is the problem. There's a real application here. Because what happens when you get bigger hail? Number one is it's going to fall from the sky faster. It's going to be going faster. So when it impacts your car or your roof or whatever, it's not only more massive, it's more faster. Okay? So you can calculate the kinetic energy. I'm not going to do that. You can do that for homework. And just say, what if I calculate the kinetic energy? Well, the kinetic energy has the velocity squared is going to be twice as much. And the mass is going to be 8 times as much. So mv squared is going to be equal to 16 times the kinetic energy if you double the size. That's a lot. A lot of kinetic energy hitting your roof. Okay, stay safe out there. The end.